This is Rainbow Road, a true test of skill and the most iconic track in any Mario Kart game. Today I'll be racing on the many variants of the track 100 times, sharing the hype moments as well as the not so hype. Let's jump straight into it. We got N64 Rainbow Road kicking off game 1. Now of course this isn't my first time playing any of these tracks. That would be basically impossible with the amount of hours I have on this game. But the Rainbow Roads have always been weaker tracks for me, so by playing them 100 times, I should be able to improve. In this game, the pack was relatively close together. While there aren't any shortcuts on N64 Rainbow Road, it's still one of the shortest tracks in the game, meaning any chance at taking over first would have to be done sooner rather than later. I just couldn't make up the ground to catch top 2, so I settled for 3rd in game 1. Game 2 started out a bit slow, but began to pick up on lap 3. A blue shell is sent out, and I decide to chance it with the double box. While I don't get a super horn, I do get a bomb, and second completely dodges it. I got him on the bomb snipe though. I wasn't gonna let him have it that easy. What do you think I am, a charity? Was feeling the time trial combo for game 3, and just look at that shortcut. I mean, that's beautiful. It's lap 3 and a blue shell hasn't shown up yet, so I'm just gonna let you tank that, thank you very much. But you can't pull a play like that without some instant karma afterward. I flew a little too close to the sun by trying to pass first, and almost sold my entire race because of it. I'll take second place in this lobby any day though. Look at everyone's VR. I was thinking about dodging first with my super horn. I didn't do it obviously, but I could've. That blue shell did not matter though. He dodged the shock by falling off the side of the track. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I was doing with my items. Like, why would I ever try passing a piranha plant? It never ends well. Did I deserve 5th place? Probably not. But my 5th race, oh, I was lock selling. When I needed it the most though, I pulled the strongest item in the game. I target shock everyone before the gap cut, and suddenly, I'm back in this race. I smuggle a bill up to 4th before using it, and the rest was pretty straightforward. Game 6 wasn't my proudest performance. You know what, maybe we should move past this one. Only 7 games in, and we've already played Wii Rainbow Road 3 times. I guess we'll see which one's the most popular by the end of this. Got blue shelled before the half pipe, but it's fine, cause this Peachette does not know how to do the shortcut. I was so far ahead on lap 3 that not even the red shell cared anymore. Finally got Mario Kart 8's Rainbow Road for Game 8. Bagging is actually a very viable strategy for this track, and it's all because of this cannon. The distance-based item system makes it so that any item from these boxes are way better than they should be. Thought I was gonna get a respectable 4th place, but a red shell put those dreams to rest. That one kinda hurt, but we're running it back on Game 9. Oh, that's a bullet. I don't know the bullet extension zone for this track, but I'll just use it here. Whoa! Let's be honest, there's no way I was losing after that. Things were pretty calm in game 10, up until the blue shell anyway. The guy behind me tried hitting a clip on me, just like what I did to Blue Yoshi on game 2. But unlike me, he has to work on his bomb sniping skills. 6th or 7th, how about 12th? It's a Wiggler game! Didn't start out too hot, but quickly broke away from the others until it was just first and I. Why is the villager slowing down? Oh, wait, hold on a minute. The villager slowed down before the blue shell appeared. Collusion aside, the blue shell's effect was negligible, and I was able to lock down another win. It took 12 games for 3DS Rainbow Road to show up. Not looking good for you Mario Kart 7 fans. I was missing item boxes everywhere this race. I don't know what had gotten into me. I was falling far behind, but when I got to the moon section, things started to turn around, and through my expert maneuvering around this guy's green shells, I was able to squeeze out a 3rd place. Very nice. Have yourself a lap 1 shock dodge to start off game 13. Orange Yoshi really should have backed out of this blue shell, although his sacrifice is appreciated. The second blue shell made things a bit closer, but not close enough for Toad to catch up. When it comes to the sectional Rainbow Roads, such as 3DS and N64, something I always try to do is break away from the pack as soon as possible. Like I said in game 1, sectional Rainbow Roads are a lot shorter, but aside from comebacks being harder, it also means the likelihood of a blue shell or shock appearing are way lower. Of course it's never 0, Waluigi could tell you that, but it's something to keep in mind. That made getting the win here on game 14 a whole lot easier. Game 15 is a lot of the same story. I get a draft off the daisy and begin my push towards front running this race. Ooh, get away. Once I got the super horn, I knew all I had to do was hold on to it and I'd have a good chance at winning. No blue shell, just some pesky red shells. Nothing I couldn't handle before the line. Hey, I wonder wonder which track we're gonna get. I could not catch a break this race, although part of it might have been on me. Whenever I thought I was doing alright, I'd always come crashing back down to earth. But I guess everyone else struggled too, since I crawled my way to a 5th place finish. We got our first batch of 200cc races, and I immediately forgot this is not how you're supposed to do the shortcut on 200. Still made it though. Set myself up to have a pretty easy first by saving my reds. But the half pipe had other ideas. It's fine. I'll just have one of my men take care of them before the line. 8's Rainbow Road is one of my favorite tracks to pick on 200cc, and it's all because half the lobby doesn't know how to take the beginning turns. Just look at the divide. This is only lap 2. Makes me kinda wish 200 appeared more often, but we don't have time to think about that. I have a daisy to deal with. The dreaded turn strikes again, and even with the blue shell, my lead was just too much to catch up to. Of course I threw it all away at the beginning of game 19. Was going for 2 orange mini turbos here, but ended up getting trailed instead. I should have just held a purple mini turbo, but I got to hit Wendy with the super horn, so that's gotta count for something, right? First backed out of the blue shell before I could notice, and the blooper gave me my traction back at the worst time. The rainbow thwomp was just a cherry on top. I played this horribly. Let's return to 150 for game 20. Drybones tried to red me at the item set, but I showed little bro I meant business. We're getting to the end here, and I need to put some pressure on first. That will do the job. After seeing Yoshi's public execution, the race was pretty much decided. I didn't even need my red shell protection. Cruised my way through lap 1 with my max anti-grav combo, but remembered we could never have nice things. I time trialed this track though. Mom could never compete. I know this is the longest track in the game and everything, but 3 shocks in one race? Really? Still got first, but man, was this race a drag. Moo Moo Me Suit. Not Cow Me Suit. Moo Moo. Let that sink in, Mario Kart World players. It's lap 3, I'm in viewing distance of the top spots, let's close this out. Had a close call with this super horn, and thanks to the duel ahead, I was able to snag 3rd. Let's go bagging! I was looking for the shock, but I really should have just cut my losses. By the time I had to make a comeback, well, I'll just be over here. Sulking. Things aren't much better in game 24. I just wanted to break away from the pack. It's never that simple though. Thanks to some triple mushrooms late into lap 3, I was able to get up to 5th. It didn't feel all that great though. Game 25 started out well. While my coin count was a bit low, I was playing it safe and was making my way up the placements. The downfall began with this back red though, which turned into another back red, and then a self green for good measure. This ending was so chaotic, it felt like my race could have ended at any moment, but when the smoke cleared, I ended in 5th, which honestly I'll take at this point. I played very defensive for game 26. The second item set gave me triple greens, and I saw no reason to really use them, allowing me to pretty comfortably hold on to 2nd, until the shock anyway. In addition to first slipping up, things were looking good. Never mind. I think I made the Inkling a bit upset with this banana trail, so he threw the rest of his reds, preventing me from a top 3 spot. At least I beat him though, right? Looks like Funky Kong is forcing me to bag in game 27. But thankfully I'm not the only lone wolf. Now that's what I'm looking for. Let's smuggle this to the front. Used the bullet bill in 3rd because I was kinda scared of a shock, but don't worry, I still have a star for the blue shell. Or the blue shell could just target 2nd place, that works too. There was another player who got to the front by using a bullet, but I put him out with a well-placed bomb. That's our first win in a while. Hope this continues. And we're back to selling on game 28. A lag trail and a stray fireball? Ugh. Had this funny interaction with the piranha plant, not without repercussions, of course. Yeah, that was a rough one. We only got 4 players for game 29. I don't know where everyone went. It kind of made the race boring too, since after I trailed out 2nd, nothing else happened. No blue, no shock, no nothing. It was basically a time trial. Things got a little dicey on lap 2 of 3DS Rainbow Road, but I was able to take out both the Rosalina and the blue shell with my super horn. While she might have clapped back with the red shell, it was her only line of defense, allowing me to have the last laugh with a red shell of my own. Pulling out the pre-balance patch meta for game 31, going from a high mini turbo combo to this feels really off. It's not horrible or anything, but man do I enjoy the meta combos after the booster course pass a whole lot more. The race was straightforward enough, with the only real worry being at the end when I misjudged the turn. I had 2 red shells though, so everything worked out in the end. It's 8's Rainbow Road, you know the story. I bailed my way to 2nd, and now I have a mushroom to dodge the blue shell. Except I don't dodge the blue shell. I shroom too early. While I'm able to piranha out second, first broke away after my blunder. There was just no catching Daisy. It's fine though, because game 33 is a 1v1. What is going on? The other player didn't even accelerate at the beginning. Like, hello, the race started. I'll take a free win, but what's with the low player count lobbies recently? Ah, a 12-player lobby, much better. There were many close encounters, but I held on to second for most of the first 2 laps. Although lap 3 changed that with this guy's fireballs. But remember, this is Mario Kart 8. If first is far enough, you could just pull triple mushrooms in fourth and make the comeback. When I'm starting from the front on Rainbow, you already know it's gonna be a good race. My coins were up, my traps were hitting, things were stress-free. Even when the blue shell arrived, I was able to do some collateral damage to second, meaning first place remained safely in my hands. I was locked in for game 36. The driving lines were clean, and I was able to get some nice item luck. Even with second place dodging the shock, I was still about a second or 2 ahead of them, although I backed out of first so that they could tank the blue shell for me. While I was somewhat close to Birdo, they still had 2 mushrooms, and coupled with some tragic invincibility frames, I was gonna need first to mess up in some way. As luck would have it, that's exactly what would happen, with Birdo blowing themselves up to dodge the first red shell, and having no protection to dodge the second. I wish every game went like this. Maybe game 37 will be the same. Moving on. The start of game 38 felt like a repeat of game 37, but things gained some traction in lap 2. Not without some hiccups, of course. I was caught in the blast radius of the blue, but I was still in the race as long as I separated myself from the group. Triple shrooms came to my aid yet again, and I was able to secure an acceptable second place. Rosalina and I were duking it out in game 39. Eventually though, I was the one to pull away towards the front, sitting pretty with a mushroom in my reserve. I used it to dodge the blue shell, making me basically have this race in the bag, but Rosalina pulled 3 red shells in a row, and there wasn't much I could do about it. Well, that was a bit anticlimactic, but at least it wasn't as bad as game 40. I had a strong start, but I was losing ground throughout the race. When it came to lap 3, everything came praying for my downfall. Wouldn't this count as friendly fire? That's just how Mario Kart goes sometimes. You're gonna win some and lose some. Game 41 should have been a win, but Yoshi decided to clip through the ground instead. Just look at the replay. I didn't even fall in the gap. Whatever, Inkling can have that one. Not like I care or anything. Game 42 was a war zone, and somehow I came out unscathed, but it wouldn't be Wii Rainbow Road without the shock, and a blue shell coinciding with it. Attempts were made at stopping top 2, but I ultimately had to settle for third. Off to a bit of a rough start on game 43, but I swear it wasn't my fault. As the race went on, however, I was able to get my coin count up and began getting towards the front. Everyone except for first was so close together though, which made the ending a lot more dangerous. I really don't know how I didn't get hit. That ain't Yoshi, who are you trying to fool? I definitely wasn't playing like a Yoshi either. Seriously, how am I getting bumped off by a shy guy? I'm fine with it though, I'll just stay in a dodge item for the rest of the race. While there was no shock, I was able to scare some people with my stars, leading to a nice third place. We're back to 200cc, this should be fun. Got a BAM shock dodge for ya. Been a while since the last one of those. Didn't know they outlawed them though. Now I got the blue shell patrol on my tail. I couldn't outrun them forever, but I think I put up a valiant effort for the rest of the race. Broke away early in game 46 thanks to my banana. For how mid of a remake 7's Rainbow Road got in this game, it sure is fun to just float across the whole thing on 200. I even got to dodge a red. Unfortunately though, Luigi used his boo right before the shock hit, and there was just no way I was beating someone who dodged. But I wasn't gonna let him get away with it in game 47. Oh, I don't know man, that start ain't looking so good. My coins were looking a little low, but I knew as long as he... Whoa, easy there. I know it got second, but my goal was to beat Luigi. It's still a win in my books. While it's not just a 200cc thing, it feels like you can't slow down at all on N64 Rainbow Road if you want to win. I guess I could have gotten more coins at the beginning, but if a single red shell is enough to ruin all my chances at first, then maybe the track is just a bit too short. It could have ended a lot worse though. I should probably cherish this third. Bam! Gotta love a shock dodge. Oh, and hey, I was able to hit Yoshi before the cut too. Nice. There's no way I get comboed and lose this, right? Ah, don't worry. I have some extra iframes. I'll be fine. See? Oh my gosh, shortcut! Please, shortcut, I need this. My Peach is kind of homeless.
Yo, shortcut, I'm watching the stream. Why are you trying not to laugh?
It was your typical 3DS Rainbow Road race, falling off at the end and all. Played dirty in game 51. I shouldn't have gotten away with that. It paid off though. First fell off and the red shells just ignored me. I'll leave this here as a gift. Call me Saint Nick, cause I got another one where that came from. That's enough 200cc for now, which means the other players are actually affecting my races again. Oh man. I recovered though. Do you really think I'm gonna let a red shell stop me from passing you? Lost my item protection to the shock, but Toadette lost theirs too, allowing for an easy red shell hit and the gold. This is the race where I realized Villager's almost completely silent in this game, only making sounds when he tricks or hits a player with an item. It's kinda eerie. It was a pretty low-key game, with not a lot of action until the blue shell. Oh, maybe that's why. It's normally impossible to get 2 coins at once, so the lag was probably disturbing the item distribution this race. Worked out better for me though, at the cost of my time. Yeah, I was here for a while. Was leading for a good amount of game 54, but not enough to tank a blue shell. It really came down to the ending. I almost got fried by this Peach, but the green shells had me covered. I agree with Daisy. Game 55, on the other hand, was definitely bad. This was my first time experiencing someone trolling in a Mario Kart lobby. I mean, it's a kid's game. You could do whatever you want, I guess. But man, was this guy kind of annoying. Coupled with an already poor performance from me, this race just wasn't it. I didn't even want to cross the line at the end. I felt like I deserved a better spot. They're back at it again in game 56. Gotta focus up. Never mind, just throw that all out the window. Throughout the chaos though, I was making my way up the pack. And by the end, I made my way to top 3, which after last game, I'll happily take. Going old school with the Wii U's meta. There might be no fire hopping anymore, but that doesn't mean this combo can't still work. I was able to keep up with the others without much hassle. First was still a ways away though. I was gonna need a well-timed blue shell and shock to take it from him. Oh, would you look at that? Right on cue. Never doubt Morton, y'all. Put some respect on his name. Peachette, however, still has some proving to do. That piranha plant was a race ender, unfortunately. Shame too. It was looking to be a good race. Although we got a second chance on Rainbow for game 59. Let's make it count. I was able to go for coins uncontested, and slowly, the people ahead of me began dropping like flies. Whether it was getting hit by the same item or getting back spammed on a turn, everyone except for first had fallen by the wayside. While the red and blue shells couldn't catch them, getting second was still pretty solid. Game 60 was going great. I was able to red shell the Daisy and the Inkling, played with some fire, pulled another set of triple reds. I was essentially guaranteed top 3 if we're not in the greatest position, but as long as, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Do I even have to show the rest? Finally, we haven't gotten to play 8's Rainbow Road since game 32, and I'd say this race was worth the 29 game hiatus. I was able to find the shock while bagging, but I couldn't use it until my golden finished. Right before I got access to it, someone else used a shock of their own, adding another reason to hate the golden mushroom. It wasn't all bad though. The shock hurt the top spots a whole lot more than it did me. By the time I reached the cannon, I was in first, even if it didn't last for very long. The podium was still within my grasp, however, because SEAL Team 6 decided to drop a blue shell on literally everyone. If only this red shell didn't happen. It was still a pretty exciting race though. I wish I could say the same for game 62, again with these 4-player rooms. First failed the shortcut at the beginning, so all I had to do was front run for the rest of the race. Was kinda hoping for a blue Yoshi top 3, but I guess one of them didn't get the memo. Game 63 started similarly, but things went south after the blue. I played a bit sloppy and just wasn't as lucky with the cannon item box as others. By lap 3, I ended in 4th. Not great for a 6-player lobby. I put it behind me though for game 64. This was an interesting one. Making my way out the middle of the pack was a struggle. Whenever I made progress, I'd get comboed with shells or a star soon after. But I kept going, even using smart steering as a backup when I was gonna fall off. Thanks to some additional commotion at the end, I stole 3rd at the line. JPG would be proud. I hope. I'm not sure what it was, but I was getting bumped off everywhere in game 65. This one was completely on me though, I'll admit. Just look at this, how am I alive? The rest of the race was better, thankfully, shrooming my way to the middle. While the ending was a bit too close for comfort, I'll definitely take 1 VR for 5th. It's tough out here in these lobbies. Decided to front run 8's Rainbow Road this time around, and honestly, it worked out really well. My only inconvenience was the blue shell, which I handled horribly, but it's fine. This bomb should hold him off for a while. Yeah, this race was a breeze. Not even the shock could stop me in time. On the contrary, game 67 was anything but a breeze. It was just plain bad. I'll spare your eyes and your time. All you need to know is that I stayed in the mid-pack and got 6th, alright? Took an early lead in game 68. I wasn't getting clobbered with items, so I held my mushroom in case of a blue shell. One never appeared though, and I was able to cross the line before anything got to me. We got another player trolling for game 69. Is this common or something? Tried to see if a red shell would target him, which it sadly doesn't. Oh, and don't mind the blue shell. Bowser's gonna have to make a comeback somehow. It was a lot simpler than I was expecting. That shock really messed some people up. While I had a close call with the troll, I stood my ground, and I ended in 2nd. Game 70 was a battle between the top 3, and I'll give it to them. They both played this race well. None of them hit my bomb, but Wii Rainbow Road is really becoming my best track. I knew this race was basically mine after the shortcut. RR Nick? Like Rainbow Road Astral Nick? Bringing back Funky Kong, but on the Yoshi bike this time around. Still trying to learn inward drift and bikes, y'all. I just kind of floated my way towards the top this race, not being involved in any altercations. Okay, well, that isn't exactly true. I might have screwed over the Birdo a little bit with my Fire Flower, but it was too late in the race for him to do anything about it. Well, would you look at that? We got another time trialer in here. That doesn't mean I'll let him win. I still have to hit 40k VR before Mario Kart World. I genuinely did lock in. This blue shell meant nothing to me. Oh, and this guy who dodged the shock, he can't even catch me with his bullet bill. Safe to say, it was a pretty good race for me. Can't say the same for the other Funky Kong. We were supposed to top 2, man. Got a bullet at the end of lap 1 and held it until the cut. It was a fairly good bill, although a red shell put it all to waste. So my lap 3 wasn't starting out the greatest, but we still got the cannon item box to bring us back, and oh boy, did it deliver. I used the bullet a bit early and unintentionally got one of the coolest looking clips in my entire Mario Kart 8 career. Shame it couldn't be a first place comeback, but that path swap into a shock dodge was unironically really hype in the moment. Having a reality check in game 74, I knew things couldn't stay this good. I mean, I pulled the shock, my drift bug, and nullified any benefit it had though. I don't know. SNES Rainbow Road still feels like a dice roll to me. Having said that though, it's officially a runner track, so I guess it's just a skill issue on my part. I made up for it in game 75 though. Ran this one like a champ. Things were chill. The only real pressure was from the blue shell, but even that kind of worked out for me, because it led to less people abusing the broken item set. It was really weird getting no red shells thrown at me, but I ain't complaining. Game 76 took abnormally long to start, like 36 seconds long. Maybe it had to do with 9 different countries being in the same lobby? I honestly don't know. Nevertheless, I had a strong showing this race. Just don't look at the banana slip. First place ate the blue shell for me, and the only way he could have gotten it back is if he got blessed with the red shells. Look at all those countries. Does this mean French people suck? I was getting ego trailed for most of game 77, but I'm not that dumb. I'll wait until lap 3 to pass you. Well, now I'm vulnerable, so that isn't great, but it looks like I have bigger problems. I should have backed out of this blue shell, but I thought I could have made it to the line. It's whatever. At least the whole lobby didn't pass me. This is our final batch of 200cc races. Lock in. I played this one well, although I should have kept my distance between second. Alright, everything's slowly falling apart. We're gonna have to get lucky. Thankfully, I control the narrative here, so let's just add a shock dodge for good measure. Out of my way, thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Had to go undercover as Pac-Man in game 79. I don't want to deal with those hit and run charges. Pulled triple shrooms in 3rd and held them until it was just 1st and I. Looks like this blue shell's onto me though. You have the wrong guy! Fortunately, my disguise worked and it went for the villager. I'll take another easy 1st. Wiggler on this track? Gotta respect the dedication. I just don't think it's gonna end well for him. Man, was this beginning a bloodbath. Everyone was going down in one way or another. I wasn't immune, of course, but I was able to recover throughout lap 2 and eventually hold down 1st with a triple green defense. This is Mario Kart though, so it was time for my regularly scheduled blue shell. Wiggler, no! Don't give up, buddy! Wiggler left, so now I have to win this. For his sake, this was a classic Trainbow front running race. I compromised to nowhere in my gameplay. By the end, not even the blue shell could catch up to me. This was for you, Wiggler. Game 82 was going quite well, with a double defense in 1st. The worst case scenario had to happen while I was floating though. And don't forget about the blue shell either. However, it ultimately didn't change the outcome of the race all that much. I was still able to pass up Birdo and end in second, although I probably could have gotten first if I had just stayed on the regular road. Game 83 was the final 200cc race, and it sure went out with a bang. All it took was the gap cut on lap 1 to break away from the pack. Even through a shock and a blue shell, I still had a sizable lead. This red shell almost caused some problems on the half pipe, but I was able to adjust in time to not fall off. I'll miss 200cc, even if half of the lobby doesn't know what they're doing. Remember how I said at least the whole lobby didn't pass me back in game 77? Need I say more? Many close calls to start out game 85. I don't know how I evaded this bomb. The room was really good. There was never a time where I felt like any of my leads felt comfortable. Of course, that meant the blue shell ruined any of my chances at getting first. But hey, third ain't that bad either. Buckle up for some quick ones, because the next 3 races were all on N64 Rainbow Road. Played mostly in the middle for game 86, but some commotion nearing lap 3 changed things fast. Threw it all away because of a triple greens duel. I ended it with a 4th place though. Definitely could have been worse. Such as in game 87 and my constant belittlement, I got hit over and over and over again. I'm just gonna go watch the fireworks. It's not even worth finishing this race. I redeemed myself in game 88 though, stumbling my way to second. While I did make an attempt at taking first, it wasn't in the cards sadly. Got SNES Rainbow Road for game 89, and it looks like we're going bagging. I didn't get much. This is looking really bad, but when it came to the final turn, I just started passing everyone. How did I get third? Game 90 didn't start out hot either. I was kinda in a weird spot, not making up much ground, but not far away enough to get crazy items. While I didn't dodge the shock, I was still able to get an item, bringing me up to the mid-pack. I played a little risky at the end, almost getting taken out by Yoshi's red shells, but it paid off as I was able to secure 4th. I was pretty fortunate with my interactions in game 91. First, I narrowly dodged Yoshi's red shell. Then I unintentionally prevented the back green from Peachette. And while getting super horned here doesn't seem that good, it meant that she couldn't use it for the imminent blue shell. But I couldn't be lucky with everything. Sometimes all it takes is a green shell to humble you. I didn't let it stop me, however, as I shroomed my way to 2nd place. Didn't think I was gonna be caught in the blast radius of that blue shell. No biggie. Villager failed the gap cut anyway, so now I just gotta run. Aside from this lone red shell, nothing got in my way. Quite a nice victory if I do say so myself. Mario in the standard card, eh? Let's see how this goes. Things were a bit jank to start, forcing me to stay in the back, but as the race went on, I began moving up the placements, until I didn't. Rough race, I could not come back on this one. Game 94 was similar in a lot of ways. People were really aggressive with their items, and I took the brink of the chaos. Was this truly necessary? It's fine though, this is my track, I know what I'm doing. One bullet bill extension later and we're back in it. Tanuki Mario's lead was too large to pass, but I was perfectly fine with getting 2nd place after last game. We're running it back on Wii Rainbow Road, and thankfully things were a lot calmer this time around. The blue Yoshi and I held a decent lead, but I took over once I got him to tank the blue shell. Oh, don't worry, I had a blue shell of my own. The Peach that passed me had triple shrooms, and my only chance at stopping her was shocked right out of me. It's alright, the double 2nd place with Pink Yoshi is cool too. Front ran half a game 96 until noticing the blue shell. Thanks for offering yourself up again, Blue Yoshi. I was in a good spot to get third, but I was very dumb with my item usage. I really should have just played defensive. Then that led to me getting shocked off mid-turn, and yeah, I'll just be honest, this race was a throw. Sorry to subject you to this, Kamek. First you get downgraded from character to item, and now this? How did Wendy get up to the top? I need to change that. Well, I'm in first now, and oh, we got a feisty one on our hands. This Wendy was not happy about me taking over first, but I had bigger issues coming. I tried Redding first, but he knew how to wall dodge. At least the Wendy got what she deserved. The urge to just knock Gold Mario out cold was so hard to resist. I needed the coins though. Ah, now that's what you like to see. Come here. Come here! The ending was something. I don't know what was happening, and I don't know how I got out of it alive. We're aiming high for game 99. I know this looks bad, but it's fine to get a little toxic before locking in, right? I got no excuses for this one. Still gonna be toxic. First place got wrecked after the half pipe, allowing me to... Oh, are we for real? John Wick may have taken my first, but he'll never take away my top 3 consistency. For game 100, I want to end off with something a little special. I present to you my final ever online race of Mario Kart 8 on Wii U. When the Wii U and 3DS online servers shut down back in April 2024, you were able to continue playing even after the closure, as long as you stayed connected to the server. When I found this out, I just knew I had to end it in Rainbow Road. I didn't just want any Rainbow Road race though. I wanted to get first place, and I wasn't gonna settle for anything less. That was 100 races of Rainbow Road. As for the breakdown, Wii Rainbow Road was the most popular. Shocker. But surprisingly, SNES Rainbow Road was second. I thought it would have been like 8s or something. And while I still have your attention, please consider subscribing, because I got a lot more content planned for Mario Kart World. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.